This is me with the long hair. At the age of 40, I decided to play football for the first time at my local junior college to erase the regret I had from not playing as a child. And while my story may be interesting to some, this is not my story, but the story of a world I fell into, a world that existed just a few miles from where I lived in Redondo Beach, California. You see, the team I played on in 2009 was ranked number 1 in the country for several weeks and has already produced 4 NFL athletes, 1 CFL player, and 2 Arena League players. And the more I learned about it, this was not at all unusual for this school. It turns out that almost 60 NFL athletes have come through these walls since 1947. And stranger still, most people have no idea it's even there.
The first year that I played here, I went to Redondo High School, I went to Loisinger High School, because there wasn't any facility here. The fondest memory was just playing, just being a part of something that was going to be big. El Camino.
The origins of junior college can be traced back to 1883, when the Chaffee brothers founded a private 2-year agricultural college in Ontario, California. Chaffee College's first building sat at the foot of the majestic San Gabriel Mountains. The first Southern California football championship was played between Chaffee College and USC in 1893. Chaffee won 32-6. Of the over 600 junior college football teams in the nation, 112 of them are in California. Due to the sheer volume, California has its own governing body, the California Community College Athletic Association. The other states are grouped into 24 regions governed by the National Junior College Athletic Association. In order to determine a national champion, for many years the winner from each association played in a championship game at the Pasadena Rose Bowl in California.
The Pasadena Junior Chamber of Commerce welcomes you to the 18th annual Junior Rose Bowl game. The 1963 National Junior College Football Championship is at stake here today as Orange Coast College of Costa Mesa, California meets Northeastern Oklahoma A&M of Miami, Oklahoma in Pasadena's famous Rose Bowl. Back on the 29 with only a minute to play, Jones throws toward the goal line. Two Pirates are there. Mike Hunter grabs it and is escorted across the goal line by Gary Carr. The victorious Pirates run off the field, and the crowd runs on.
El Camino finished second in the nation in 1954, losing in the Junior Rose Bowl to Hines, Mississippi Junior College. In 1971, they repeated this achievement under coach Ken Swearingen, winning the state title against Santa Rosa JC. Since 1978, the championship has been decided by various polls.
We have just found out that El Camino, according to both junior college polls, has been named the national champion, and you can see a gloating, smiling John Featherstone up in the air, hoisting that big, beautiful trophy high in his arms.
El Camino is coming off a solid 8-3 year in 2011, losing in the first round of the playoffs. Since 2005, the team has had 4 top 10 national finishes, peaking at number 2 in 2006 as the California State Champions. With the addition of bounce-back quarterback Jesse Scroggins from USC, the team is expected to make another run for the national title.
The whole beginning of the season was just talent. You know, we got Jesse, bounce back from USC, who was just throwing rockets, you know, and you're at practice, you're just jaw dropping.
John Featherstone played for ECC in 1967 and 68 before transferring to San Diego State as a receiver, becoming a bowl game MVP, and then coach. Featherstone was named National Coach of the Year in 2006 for the second time.
And a lot of my kids haven't had a lot of love and discipline, and it's very exhilarating for Coach Engel and I and our whole staff to be able to spend time with these kids and get them to not fear people that want to take care of them and help them and direct them and get them going down the right path. Joselio Hansen's been a 4-year starter as a cornerback for Andy Reid, who's a good friend of mine. Old Andy and I go way back. A lot of the NFL head coaches were at one time in this office. Marvin Lewis, Johnny Fox, Andy Reid. All these guys started out at Division II, and then they went to Division I, and then they ended up going into the NFL. Herman Edwards. I'd say probably half of the NFL guys, head coaches, have been through this office at one time or another. Johnny Gruden used to come by all the time, all those guys. I credit Coach Don Coryell, and Coach is right over here. Coach is probably one of the greatest coaches, I think, in the history of football for the San Diego Chargers. And he wrote this to me years ago. Hi, Feather, proud of you. Wish you the best. Keep up the good work. And Coach is, in his mid-80s now. And he's the one who got me into coaching in 1971. I have him to thank for everything, really, in terms of my coaching career. I believe in having fun, preparing, practicing, and playing football. And as long as they had a good experience, met a lot of new friends, and can walk away with a couple of things that they learned, life lessons and values, then I'll feel good about that.
Get to him, get to the returner.
Good practice yesterday. Don't go backwards today. Work hard, try to get a little better. Get a little better in your position. Listen to your coaches. Play hard for 2.5 hours.
Nice job, Jamel.
Defensive line coach Ken Talanoa, after playing at El Camino in 1990 and 91, spent 3 years in the NFL and 9 years in the Arena League.
Go! My touches. All the way now, first. That's how it looks. Go! All the way around. Don't cheat yourself. Set. Go. Hit. There you go. Good. Go. Oh, yeah. Go, man. Back. Now, go. Work.
Oh, that's it, Matt.
There you go. Oh, here we go. That's better. Much better. Okay, here's what I want. I want 6 outside, 7s inside, 7s be on the line of scrimmage.
Right, drive. There it is. Come on. Let's go, Julian. Let's go. Hold on, John. It's a tight end right here. 3 techniques on the wrong side. D-line bumping. Yeah. Just go to Kenny right now.
We had a really good defense in 2008. We were 10-2, and we were the number 2 defense in Southern California. And we had a lot of those guys coming back. But then we added some more depth to it. A couple bounce backs and just local players, local area players. And we were able to hold teams to 221 yards a game, which is number 1 in the state. You get to help develop them as a football player, as a young man, and then hopefully get to market them to get them placed, as long as they get it done in the classroom.
Yeah, he is tripping there tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I've been, we sure liked him out here. You know,
Yeah.
as a person, obviously I liked him as a player. And
Yeah, he's a great kid.
This seems like a genuine guy and stuff like that. So we would take him in a heartbeat if he said yes. But you know, I've been in contact with 2 other kids that we're thinking about.
Good football practice. Now, hey, I saw you come out a little flat. That's pretty normal after a Monday, Tuesday. And you run into another hot day on Wednesday. That's pretty normal. But hey, every day we got to get up and play this great game, don't we? We got to get up and buy into the whole deal. Okay? And I think we're working hard enough. We're just starting. We're going to get better. We're going to learn how to really be well-conditioned athletes. Okay? Now, the hardest thing for us is when we have to go together and start smacking each other. We want to be sure we play pad-level football. We lost a couple guys today. I don't want to decrease the aggressiveness by any means, because we got to compete in every session, don't we? The time we start, we go to blitz, we go right in individual. We're getting after it for 3 hours, aren't we? Before long, you won't even be tired anymore. You'll be in great shape. We have to be that way the next 2 weeks. Sleep as long as you can. Remember, the only time the body can heal itself is when we're sleeping. There's no more partying. There's no more hanging out with the guys that aren't going to school, all your friends that aren't playing football anymore. Every day, come with a mindset to get a little bit better. We're all lucky to be playing this great game, aren't we? Very, very lucky.
Amen.
My champions, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
I was playing soccer my whole life, and then I started playing football my senior year. Kicked a game-winning field goal my senior night. I just never had that feeling with soccer. So I wanted to keep playing football, but since I was new, I didn't have offers or anything. I decided to come here because it was a well-established program.
I ended up signing, so I was trying to decide what JCs to go to, and then I had a huge range because my dad lived out here, and then my brother was coming to El Camino too. So I felt most comfortable coming here because I was switching to a brand new position. And I knew my dad was coaching. I know he would take his time and get me right. So that's part of the reason why I chose Elko.
I get a call from Coach Kirk hey, this is Ivan Mclennan, Coach Kirk, El Camino College defensive coordinator. Would love for me to come to El Camino and love to play. And I was like, all right, man, I'm fired up about it. I was like, all right, man, I'll come to practice. Came out, and I loved it. I was also looking at West LA and Harbor, but at Elko, they preached competition, man, and I felt that in order for me to be a better player, I needed the competition.
After a lot of fooling around in high school, I just decided what's the next option. And then I found out the best JC out in California. I want to go where the best is. So Elko was just the perfect match for me.
I ended up committing to FIU, Florida National, and then at the last second they didn't want me, so I got a call from Coach Duncan saying that, they want me to come out, and so I took the chance.
I want to be a firefighter, so I took a year off and I did schooling for that and tried to get in, and I just missed football and I came back. Actually, 1 week in the season, and I asked Feather, hey, do you have a spot for me? He's like, of course, Chris. And come on, we'll get you classes right now, we'll get you set up.
Out of San Pedro, I was supposed to go to Washington State, but I failed in my last algebra class and wasn't able to go. Then San Jose State was going to give me a try, and I tore my ACL. Coach Kirk came and said, "Hey, we have a spot for you if you want to come play." And I said, "I would love to."
Where's my tight end? First thing is tight.
Race each other. Go! Come on, you're not tired. Get up! Come on, get around him. Come on, he's running from him. Go! Say, go!
This is Gene Engle's 31st year coaching the offense. Also from Miracosta High, he played for the Warriors in '75 and '76 before transferring to Stanford.
What they call strong eye.
Next door, Matt Kirk works with the defense.
So Bear sends the strong side in down to a strong side 3. The nose, it's head up the center. The three technique now goes weak. The hunter's still in his wide 9, the studs walked up on the line shooter just like easy slide.
Pad level, short step, hands up, let's go.
Strong safety. Gene, strong safety.
Yeah, we're done.
Goes inside, so just go through the B gap.
For that one in the very
Cheat up. Go through the B gap.
Come on, read your progression.
React!
If they slant, then you have to adjust.
Roll it.
Sophomore receiver, Luckner Brady, number 47, stands out due to his good hands and speed. He runs a 4.3 second 40-yard dash.
You go home tonight, I need a good night's sleep. Tomorrow night you're going to be nervous. You're going to be anxious. Pretty normal stuff. So are we as coaches. I love this time of the year getting ready to play the first game. Ain't nothing like it. There's what, 6 or 7 major college games. UCLA game's probably over by now. You take it, you go home and watch it. Get a good night's sleep. A lot of you probably don't have, other than maybe one class on a Friday or nothing on Friday. So sleep on Thursday, because you're going to be a little rambunctious on Friday. But we're at home. Now, you had a good practice tonight, I thought. Well done. Now, each Thursday, we got to have that. Okay? Be safe when you go home tonight. Don't get a bite to eat. Go to bed quick.
first series of the game, and Jabari gets his first sack. After a Palomar field goal, El Camino puts up its first points on a connection from Scroggins to Brady to end the half with a 7-3 lead. The second half was a different story. Elko's offense was shut out, while Palomar quarterback Ryan Land came up big. A shocked El Camino team loses its first game to unranked Palomar College.
Not easy coming off a loss. It's almost like a sickness. And until we win, it's going to still be in our guts, isn't it? Now, you could have come out here and felt sorry for yourself and flopped around. We'd be yelling, screaming at you. But you came out here, and I thought one of your best practices so far today. Hey. Guys, I took the bullet the other night. My fault. I don't know what happened. I thought you were ready.
Scroggins shows his athleticism, bowling his way into the end zone to put Elko up by 1. The one thing El Camino couldn't account for was number 4, Cameron Artis-Payne. He ended up number 1 in California in rushing touchdowns and yards per game in 2012. He's now studying philosophy and playing football for Auburn University. Ivan Mclennan does his best to keep Artis-Payne contained. Elko finds itself in unfamiliar territory, starting the season 0-2. One of the winningest programs in JC history, they have only 4 losing seasons in almost 30 years under Coach Featherstone.
You know, the coaches were trying to bring light back to us, but for some reason, there's a lot of controversy in the team. It's pretty much split, and that's something we have to work on.
You should be 2-0, not 0-2. Well, we can't change that right now, can we? So we have to have a great one tomorrow and a greater one on Thursday. Sound good? Because we're going to win the next 2, aren't we? Hey, Coach. Love you guys too. You guys don't know how much we love you.
The team tries to right itself and salvage its season going into Pasadena City College the following week. With both teams looking for their first win of the year, Captain Eric Capaccioni strikes first. And Terrell Dolbury gets to make his first real contribution to the team after brief stints at New Mexico State and Harbor College. Some fancy footwork from Scroggins, and he finds Kenny Holmes on the 29-yard line.
on this. I know I'm going to be fired up next week to go against Long Beach. We're home, baby. I don't need to remind you there's a huge difference between winning and losing. You put all this hard work in, you certainly want to win, don't you? I think most of you are starting to learn how to practice now. That's the key. We got to come out here and bust it for a good 2.5 hours. Remember, on the Tuesday and Wednesday, those are the lunch pail days. We got to service each other. We got to work hard. We got to get a little better. After this week, guys, we only have 6 more games. That's how quickly it goes.
Scroggins connects with Michael Thompson for a 57-yard touchdown.
So I'm on the slot receiver, and the slot receiver does an out. And I see that out. Everybody that knows me, that plays football with me, pass coverage, they know that I'll jump on that out. And the quarterback threw the out, and I jumped it. I went 44 yards for a touchdown. You know, my sideline, the crowd just amped up. And that's what I really do it for. It's just like when you make a big play and you just get up and just celebrate, and your teammates start celebrating with you, it's a great feeling.
At halftime, Elko leads 24-7. Now even at 2-2 for the year, the Warriors hope to keep their positive momentum going against local rival Harbor College. Harbor defensive end, number 52, Hakeem Lewis, sacks Scroggins as the El Camino offense slips again. After putting up 105 points in the last 2 games, the El Camino offensive attack falls silent. A second field goal by Cody Thornton makes the score 17-6 and was the only offense that either team could muster. After the Harbor game, Dante Livingston required surgery on his finger and Pierce Slater had appendicitis. Both starting tackles were out for the rest of the season.
But we had a plethora of athletes at receiver, a good tight end, the best in the area, Everton Thaxler. But our quarterback, bounced back, just struggled.
All the talent in the world, but faced with injuries and lack of chemistry, El Camino's season was hanging in the balance. halfway into the first quarter, quarterback Brian Burrell hits Marquise Johnson for a 73-yard touchdown. With 2 minutes left in the first, Burrell reaches Mike Dunn to put Bakersfield up 14-0. By the start of the fourth quarter, Bakersfield was running away with the game. Bakersfield was not going to be stopped. In fact, they went undefeated for the rest of the year. With their hopes of playing for a championship gone, the El Camino Warriors hoped to upset the top 10 ranked Riverside City Tigers. Zach Atkins breaks free and runs for a touchdown, putting RCC up 21-15.
Go forward, go forward, go!
With Elko 20 yards from tying the score, Riverside forces a fumble. Atkins connects with Devin Brown to put RCC up by 2 touchdowns with 9 seconds left in the half.
I remember just dropping back. He was back there for about 5-10 seconds, and he just throws it up. Luckner just sprinting by him, going, oh, no, you shouldn't have done it. Scoring a 70-yard Hail Mary to finish the half. And Riverside was just in shock.
Behind the play, Scroggins was hit hard, injuring his shoulder and adding to Elko's challenges. With 1 minute remaining in the third quarter, it's a 7-point game, and it's the most points Riverside has allowed all season.
There's 1 or 2 plays where you guys probably were going to beat us, or should have beat us. But again, it just didn't go our way.
A forfeit win over College of the Desert and a close loss to a 5-2 Citrus team capped off a frustrating season and has the Warriors facing the current #1 ranked team, undefeated Mount San Antonio College, for the last game of the 2012 season. Due to injuries and players quitting, El Camino is left with 35 players to face an 80-plus man Mt SAC roster.
Now think about going all the way back into August, man, when we started. We didn't have a chance to reach that goal that we wanted to do, but I see 35 great Warriors. Guys, I want to thank you for hanging in there all year with all the adversity we've had. I've seen you have 5 straight great practices. I see all the fellowship and the brotherhood you guys have had over the last 3 or 4 months. Nothing like being in this field house. A lot of these things tonight are the last time we can do it. You're going to go through that tunnel one more time, and you're going to come back at halftime, then you're going to go one more time. This is where we love it, right here in our stadium. Between the walls, baby. Between the walls.
Mt SAC quarterback Nick Montana, son of famed NFL quarterback Joe Montana, hits Dante Ingram for the first points of the game. After a 26-yard field goal by Cody Thornton, Jamal Overton finds an opening and puts Mt SAC up 14-3.
Overton carries the ball into the end zone, touchdown, Mountain.
First and goal, Kenny Holmes catches the ball in the back of the end zone to make it a 4-point game at halftime.
30 seconds until halftime.
They got about 10 minutes back.
Very, very proud of your effort. I need to tell you, man, you've been playing blow by blow with the #1 team in the country. We're all in this together right now. Now you're down to 30 minutes to do something that's going to show the whole freaking world. We got nothing to lose, do we, guys? No. Nothing to lose right now. So let's just hang it all out there, baby. Guys, I don't want you to feel bad for 1 second. I thought you guys fought hard. They got 80 to 100 guys. We just got 35 tough football players. Stayed in there the whole freaking day. Guys, hey, don't you be bad. I want you to go out and celebrate tonight. I want you to be happy tonight. Because I think you played a good football game. At times you played a great football game. So I'm proud about that, guys. You didn't quit. You fought all the way to the end.
One more time, baby. Let's go.
Champions, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Fire.
You know, there's so many words I want to say about it. It's just frustrating. You know, it's the biggest thing is, you know, let down for Coach Feather. It's probably one of the biggest tolls put on me himself. A lot of people say it's all about winning, but you know, the teams who don't win, I think it's just all about pride, all about the love of the game.
With Featherstone since 1985, El Camino had never lost more than 4 games in a row. In 2013, the team has a new turf practice field as part of a revitalization project that includes a new stadium where the current Murdoch Stadium stands. This will be the last year that a team plays in the old Murdoch Stadium, which was built in 1948.
You'd have been smacked on your back. Ready to go! I'll pick that up. Huddle. Come on, stay low here. Cut the bag. Stay low. Come on, JB. Don't be lazy over here, man. 2 hands. Come on.
Chris Bass, number 45, will take over at middle linebacker for Austin Johnson, who transferred to South Dakota.
Hey, Xavier, we got to be sooner. Raider, we got to be the outcut. We're over the top on the outside.
1, 2, 3.
Returning running back Desmond Reed, now wearing number 23, will see a lot of playing time this fall.
I want to thank Coach Byers for bringing Mr. Jackson here for you to talk to you a little bit about football and how lucky we are to be involved in the greatest sport on this planet.
Once I got started, it was over. I didn't worry about nobody taking my job because one thing I would always do, I didn't need no coaches, I didn't need no teammates or nobody standing over me to tell me what I had to do. Because I knew what I wanted, I knew which way I was going, I knew what I was going to do with football. I knew what football was going to do for me. Football was great to me, guys. I thank God every day. I thank Him every day because I played this game for 16 years, never missed a ball game for being hurt. What I had to do though, I had to work my butt off. I had to work, fellas. You can't cut corners if you want to go somewhere. All you guys in here, all you guys here wants to go to the NFL, I know. Because if you don't, you got to check your head, man, because something's wrong with you. So they paying good money up there now. I want to go back and beat my mother up for having me so early. they paying good money, guys. Hey, all you got to do, guys, bust your butt. Don't worry about coaching them standing over you telling what you have to do. Because you know what you need to do. The only person say what you can't do is who? Yourself. You're the only person say what you can't do. Because like I said, when I came out of high school, I weighed 149 pounds. Nobody thought I was going to be nothing or go nowhere. But I had it up here that I was determined to do something for myself and for my family. And I did that. You guys can do the same thing.
When we talked about leaders and followers, didn't we? How many of you think you're leaders? We're going a lot of games, aren't we, Doc? Do this. ECC! Oh, yeah! ECC! Oh, yeah! ECC!
Back on the ball. Hey guys, get back on the ball. Run the ball again. Defense, run the same style again, please. 0-0. Yeah, we're wrong. Get it. Right, you guys, Robbie. Hey. Here we go. I seen him going right out, and that's why I stepped. Field goal block, line up and gate. Into the field house, you guys.
Coming off the Hancock victory, the more confident Warriors of El Camino rolled past Pasadena City College, 43-7.
Tell me what it's gon' be, man, I put that on me. We just doing nothing, we just going for the go. We just living our dreams. Tell everything I dream is everything I see. Tell me what it's gon' be, man, I put that on me. We just doing nothing, we just going for the go. We just living our dreams. Tell everything I dream is everything I see. Man, it's been about 3 years in this process. You see my growth in every project. Beats, artwork, and the content. Large part of me is what I'm giving you. Moving with a clearer view. Man, that's how I feel. Never making sense in my windshield. Only my rear view will find me, then connect to you. But for the ones drowning in that shallow pool, here's a life vest. Breathing for the lifeless. Exercise your intellect. Now I spark their interest. Man, it's quite simple, so miss me with the excuse. I parted from the state of mind some time ago. I'm looking for my pot of gold. Part in my late arrival. It's better late than never, but you can't wait forever. I'm just a young man, I'm living out dream. Hippie, they can tell me what it means. Open eyes, understand, conscious action with a plan. Goddamn, young. Tell me what it's gon' be, man, I put that on me. We just doing nothing, we just going for the go. We just living our dreams. Tell everything I dream is everything I see. Tell me what it's gon' be, man, I put that on me. We just doing nothing, we just going for the go. We just living our dreams. Tell everything I dream is everything I see. Man, I'm moving, only I can stop me. Before you demonize my black body, know it's gorgeous. You're not dividing forces, dark room, they like the torches. I navigate this unfamiliar landscape and search for something greater. I'm looking what I'm made of, there ain't no telling how where this world might take it. And so I open doors, new day praying for. I hope it means justify the ends of what I'm fighting for. Man, I'm writing to restore a sense of self, see me put my all in. This black ghost where I'm esperance spoken. You gotta know, I got you. Maintaining the lining of my 7-point chakra. Right into a lighting cause they blinded with no conscience. Man, the apple of my eye. I built my castle wall so high. Life, love, progression. That's how I live my life. Hippie dagger, hippie dagger. Tell me what it's gon' be, man. I put that on me. We just doing.
A misstep forces Cole Webb out of the game and puts the Warriors' season in jeopardy. For the second year in a row, the Warriors lose their starting quarterback to injury.
Happy Big Karen over here.
With only one non-conference loss, El Camino is still in the hunt for everything. Cole Webb's knee injury sidelined him for the rest of the season. A solid student, he walked on to Cal Berkeley in 2014. The team's hopes now ride on the shoulders of backup quarterback Aaron Shockey, who's only worked with the offense for a few months.
You understand how important this game is at home? Do you understand that? Second conference game, okay? So I expect you, whether we're returning the ball or we're kicking off, I want to see 3 and out or a damn touchdown. You got it? Sir. Yeah, give me a win. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Win. Go.
A hungry Harvard team who defeated El Camino last year 17-6 comes into Murdoch Stadium looking to make its mark. The Warriors 3-1 are moving up in the national rankings, although the injury to Webb puts this in question.
one tick on that scoreboard, we're going to find a way to win. All your hard work paid off. So I'm proud of you. Proud and happy for you guys. Okay? Who blocked that?
Caleb!
After starting the season 4-1, El Camino's offense struggled under the less experienced Shockey, getting shut out in Bakersfield 28-0.
You should be disappointed. I'm disappointed at myself too. I'm mad at myself too for letting you be too loose on Thursday. But I thought you were growing up. I could let you have a little fun time on occasion. You gotta have a little fun in this game. That's why we love it. Well, it wasn't much fun tonight, was there? Figure out what you can do to help with this football team. I don't care how many snaps you take. We're all part of the team. The last 2 weeks we had 2 wonderful finishes, didn't we? Tommy Reynolds, one of my best, greatest friends. Morningside High School, All-American, all everything. Played with the Patriots and the Chicago Bears. Wonderful father, wonderful dad. Tommy Reynolds, clap it up for this.
You guys bring back a lot of memories for me when we used to be in this locker room. We go through the tunnel, and I mean, we laid it all out on the field. So, that's all I got to say. Go get them, give them hell. Let's bring home a big one.
To get you a little more fired up, guys. This is what we're playing for now, baby. Something nice and blue like this. Hey, how we get it? One. We got to bring this thing to them. And we got to shine at one of these shiny stars. Get some hardware. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think there's just a few. Hey, we're going out victorious in this great stadium, Murdoch Stadium. Last time, we had to get this one. Yeah, I know a whole bunch of you are tired, worn out a little bit. Pretty physical game, long game. Bottom line is we won the game. Next week is the most important game now that got this whole season. You don't need to be going out too late tonight. All right, you know, love you guys. Amen. All right, guys, say loud and clear now. Like champions, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Warriors. Good win.
The Warriors next face Citrus, who lost in overtime to Riverside last week, 51-50.
Quarterback Larry Cooper received the Central Conference Offensive Player of the Week for going 23 of 33 with 366 yards and a Citrus record of 6 touchdown passes.
Let's get it rolling. Come on, bad boy.
I watched so much film in that game because I knew we needed it to go to the playoffs. You know, we didn't get the win, but I was trying everything I could to get us to win. So.
What I'm looking for is, regardless of what the score says, what the clock says, that you're playing hard on every snap. And I thought you kept fighting and you kept fighting and you kept fighting. And then you went over there and you were gentlemen. I appreciate that. Watch, we got one more big game.
You know, we teach together every day. So going into that whole week, you know, we were pretty quiet to each other. It was kind of weird. To coach against them on the other side, especially against our biggest rival. It may not seem like his biggest rivals the last few years, but there's wars over the years. I mean, there's years we beat them like 65-10.
practices, the training camps, the tears, the sweat, the blood, the headbanging. It's a lot to endure, man. Some hardships go on in people's lives. Some people not eating that night. Some of these players don't have their moms, you know. Some of these players got to work a job. I mean, they got to support a kid. And plus, coming to football practice, the biggest life lesson you get from football is the value of hard work and the value of becoming a man.
Being an adult, waking up, knowing I had practice, priorities, knowing you have school, you have football. If you can do football and go out there and be tired and then still go do your homework and still be a student athlete and make good grades, because you can do all that stuff, then in life, waking up for a job is going to be easy.
I think I was going down the wrong path in high school, just like drugs and drinking and all that stuff. But when I got to football, they instilled life lessons and, like work hard for a goal. When you blow your assignment in football, it throws everyone off because there's 11 people on the field and everyone depends on everyone to do their job. And when someone doesn't do their job, there's 10 people that suffer. And then there's a whole roster that suffers as a result of that.
Football taught me when you feel like you're going to give up, snap. You know what I mean? I just can't even explain. You just got to fight it, persevere. Purpose of football, not the professional level, but it's to make you into a man. Apply stuff that you learn from football into life. So it's not about winning, really. It's really about, what you do after that. Because you can't play football for the rest of your life. But it is good to win, though.
A student athlete, it's not only you're on the field and you're playing a sport, you're also in the class, handling your books and your homework and your test. It's like our coach said the other day, he's like, it's only about 2-3% of people coming out of a JUCO go to the NFL. Biggest thing you can take from playing football at a community college or D1 is education. Getting your education is key. Once you're done, it's 2 years and I'm done, and you look back on it and can you tell yourself that you tried your best and you gave it all, for your coaches and for your teammates.
One week before Murdoch Stadium's to be demolished to make way for a new, more modern stadium, some of the alumni made it back for an informal barbecue on the field to share stories and say goodbye.
Dwight Pickens!
It was a competition every day, and that's what made us better. We wanted to make a point of being leaders. El Camino was the best time that I had, because I was a boy and became a man.
It's not any one thing. I mean, there were great moments. It's all of you. That's what it is. So thank you guys for a lifetime of memories. Yeah, this is a special place. I'm gonna miss this place.
Ed did some speech, and I remember sitting there next to Papa D, and I was like, what the is he talking about? Just sit up and let's get out of here. It was one of this and whatever, man. I was like, I thought we were playing football.
We were hanging out with everybody. There was no cliques or anything like that. Ever since El Camino, I've been on a couple teams, and it was never the same. The Thursday night practices, and just these are all my guys to this day.
Good time in my life. Good time. Love the experience I had. Thank you guys for the opportunity, and we got to keep it moving.
Played in 63 and 64 here for Kenny Swearingen. My dad was the coach at Santa Monica College for 48 years, and when we played him here and we played him at City College in Santa Monica, we won both games, so those are probably my biggest moments here. But these were some of the funnest times I had here. I still keep in contact with most of my teammates, just like you guys do, and I'm really honored to be here and to know this guy for so long, 50 years almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Today we're all El Camino football players, and this is how we roll. We get along, no matter what color skin we are. We take care of each other. When you play like that, when you play like a family, you have fun and you win games.
Hey, cheers, Warrior for life.
I came out of West Torrance, wanted to play and make a statement at the same time. We all decided to come over here and play as, together. We didn't know where it was going to take us, but man, you talking about just wanting to be different and play with each other, playing as a family just took us to another level.
And it was just great to have Danny come back with us 3 years ago, and now hopefully he can stay as long as he wants.
I think we're really committed to bringing the program back to the top it deserves to be, and that's what all of you guys, I'm sure you look at the paper on Sunday morning, see how the Warriors did, right?
In my will, it says I want half of my ashes to go 6 feet under. We won't be able to do that now because they're changing the stadium.
Coach Pete.
Coach Pete was a tremendous coach, tremendous person. That was a sad loss for all of us.
Gene Engel, our line coach, called me and said, Pete, come on, let's give Feather a chance. After listening to him for an hour, hour and a half, how could you not want to be on his staff? He had so much enthusiasm, he cared so much, and he had so many good ideas. I said, I want to be part of this.
This is our neighborhood. Go and play against Riverside, going to play against Taft, going to play against Bakersfield. I would come here on Saturday nights and be like, I want to be like those guys.
These 2 years, it was like, in my memory, it was like so important. It would almost seem like it was 15 years worth of living.
Love, baby,
and
love.
and living and learning and stuff like that as a trip. When I think about it, it's like, that was really only 2 years of my life.
It just hits you like, this field, you share this field with NFL players, college players, like great coaches like Steve Sakisian, like, you share this field with so many great people, and it's just like, you don't realize it until those people come back and tell you.
This definitely had a cherished spot in my life.
This is one of the most special days I've had as a football coach. To have all you guys come back on such short notice. Me standing here and listening to how much you enjoyed your experience here is worth every moment in my profession. The neatest thing for Gene and I to see players in the NFL coaching, our players in major college playing, all over the place. It's been a wonderful journey. This is one of the greatest days in my life. You guys are always so welcome to be in the family. Okay. All the hands in here. Hey, I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, and what are we gonna say again?
Warriors. One's a warrior, always a warrior. You know? That's what we're gonna say.
All right, here we go. Like champions. 1, 2, 3.
Warriors.
Good job. Good job, guys. Good job. Let's go win the game now. Let's go. See all the fellowship and brotherhood you guys have had over the last 3 or 4 months. Nothing like being in this field house. A lot of these things tonight are the last time you can do it. You're going to go through that tunnel one more time. You're going to come back at halftime. Then you're going to go one more time.
While filming the demo of the stadium, I was met by an unexpected visitor.
Oh, there's the tunnel. Can't get rid of the tunnel.
I wonder who he was waving to, the ghost of memories past or to all those who will follow.
This was my home. I played here, I've coached here. There's a lot of history in my life with this stadium. Yeah, my last look, I probably won't see that again. All those years, boy. it was well worth it. It's a little sad, but it's also it's a happy moment too. I believe in having fun, preparing, practicing, and playing football. And as long as they had a good experience, met a lot of new friends, and can walk away with a couple of things that they learned, life lessons and values, then I'll feel good about it.
Once a warrior, always a warrior. You know?
All right, here we go. Like champions. 1, 2, 3.
Warriors, warriors, warriors.
Good job. Good job, guys. Good job. Let's go win the game now. Let's go.
C-E-C-C. That's all I gotta say. Yep.